Hey guys, how's it going? This is Jake with Mind Over Mind. Today I'm going to be reviewing Skull Warrior, one of the sets from the summer wave of Bionicle 2015. So without further ado, let's begin. And here he is, Skull Warrior, aiming down his bow at his target. And yeah, I really like this set, but before we get into my opinions, I just want to go over the box really quick like. So here's the box. It's pretty nice looking. I really like the box art design and the background and everything like that. It really shows him in action, kind of in the pose that I have him in. And if we look at the back, but before we look at the back, it says ages 7 through 14. It is set number 70791, and it is 102 pieces. So let's look at the back. And of course, there's the cartoon and everything like that, but the interesting thing that I really like about the back of the box is it shows the combiner model right here. So basically, if you have Skull Warrior, Skull Slicer, and Skull Basher, you can create this mega monster that basically is the combination of the three. There's also the cartoon on the back where it shows the Toa entering the ancient city. It shows the Skull Warrior looking over the ledge. He shoots Kopaka in the mask and it basically flies off. He grabs the mask and he basically runs off with it. It shows so the functions, basically when you control or rotate this gear on his bow, it causes his the little projectiles to kind of shoot off the bow. It also shows that when equipped with his spear, you can rotate the back yellow piece, which causes function. Basically, it causes his arms to move back and forth. And yes, you can put the mask, Kopaka's mask, on top of his head and replace it with the new mask as well. So I will go over the new mask right now. I really enjoy this mask. If I recall correctly, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to get the set like right off the bat. Just because this mask is so new and different. So this is the new mask. I believe it's called the Bull Skull Mask. Basically, it looks really robotical, really different from what we've seen from Bionicle Generation 2 so far. It has all of these joints and pistons, which I really like. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see that just a little bit better. And the detail of this mask I really like a lot. Basically, it has all of these vents and kind of ventilation slits in the mask on the front, and the eye holes are just really menacing. When you see those red eyes peering through, it looks like this guy means like literal business, like this guy's gonna mess you up. So I really like the mask. It kind of draws from Terminator in a way. It just kind of gives me that Terminator vibe. So let's go ahead and refocus so we can get into the nitty-gritty details. So if we haven't gone over this yet, this is Kopaka's mask. And Kopaka basically gets his golden mask stolen from the Skull Warrior. It becomes corrupted and basically drained of its power and energy. So that's why it kind of has the blue kind of flare to it. Usually this mask is pure gold, but in this case, this is like a special mask that comes with the Skull Warrior only. It's half blue and half gold. And where it blends together, it's kind of iffy. It's kind of like a green, kind of pukish color. So it's alright, I guess. Because basically each mask is different, how the molding process goes for each and every mask is kind of unique. But for mine at least, it's kind of a pukish green in the midsection right there, but it's different for every mask. So yes, let's go over his functions. So again, the Skull Warrior has this awesome bow, and this is actually why I fell in love with this set as soon as I saw the concept images for it like months ago. This bow is something that we haven't really seen in Bionicle so far, aside from the Protector of Jungle that we saw released earlier this year. Basically though, this bow, when you turn this piece, this little gear, you can kind of see it. When you turn the gear, it basically fires off all of the little white projectiles that are kind of stored in the front here. So I'm gonna fire off a couple, but of course there's a white background, so I might not be able to see all of them. But there they go. There's one. Here, I'm gonna move to the side. So you rotate it to the right or left. Here goes another one. Whoa! Don't want to lose these. These are white, so they're kind of harder to see. But yeah, just fires off just like that, and when you want to put them back, you simply pop them back into place. Now before I move to his other function, I just wanted to say that he has a lot of posability with this bow. I got him into this position that I really didn't think that he could actually be placed in. He's really looking down the sights of the bow, and it looks like he's actually, you know, using it and looking down the sights at an enemy. I really like the posability. He has a full range of motion. I mean, look at this. You can even have it here, where it's kind of more, it's his elbow isn't as arched back, but he's still looking down the sights at his opponent. So I think that's really cool. He has a lot of range of motion just with this bow alone. I mean, I'm actually very impressed with how much you can move it back and forth. That is, you know, due to all of the joints that he has in his arms. He has 1, 2, 3 on each side, and it's just, it has a lot of variety. You can do a lot of different poses, and I'm sure a lot of people will be really happy with that. Now the addition of a secondary weapon is actually something that's really cool about Skull Warrior. Something that, you know, the other Skull villains don't have. Skull Warrior is the only one with a secondary weapon, and basically you can access his function by turning the yellow knob right here, which basically allows him to do a slashing hacking motion with the spear. Now the spear is very simplistic, but it does add a lot to the character just simply because he has, you know, an alternative method of attack besides his bow, which, you know, is much appreciated and I actually really like. So before we wrap up, let's go ahead and go over the color scheme and the basic general appearance of this figure. Now in terms of color scheme, I really like the blue and neon orange colors. I really think that they complement the set, and the gunmetal gray really adds a lot to it as well. But I really like how the primary color is all translucent. It really just provides emphasis on some of the key points, especially the bow and the new ribcage piece at the midsection of the figure. I also really like the addition of the Kopaka mask. It just gives you more incentive to buy the set, because, you know, if you want the, you know, special edition quote-unquote Kopaka mask, you're gonna want to get this set. A lot of people in internet forums and YouTube comments keep saying that they really don't like the addition of the neon orange pieces. And in my opinion, I think that the pieces are spread out enough to make it more balanced, especially because his chest print right here, the piece that has the print on it, it has a reddish orange type of color, which kind of, you know, adds more orange sections of the figure. So the orange works for me, and I actually really like it, and it goes well with the red eyes. And in terms of the figure itself, I love asymmetricality. The addition of these two pieces that are kind of diagonal from each other. They're not two shoulder pieces, and they're not two knee pieces. There's just one shoulder piece, one knee piece, one on each side. I just love asymmetricality, especially with Lego sets. It's just something that brings more uniqueness to the build itself. So overall, I actually really enjoyed this set. It was really fun to build, and the bow is just fantastic in my opinion. I love the posability, the 3 joints in each of his arms, and the addition of the spear right here is also really cool. It just gives him more forms of attack that he can inflict on enemies. So overall, really like the set. If you don't have this set, please pick it up. It's one of my top 3 of the Skull villains, and I'm really in love with just the build and the direction that Bionicle is going. So, this has been Jake with Mind Over Mind. And hey, if you want to purchase this set, you really want to get it, I will be selling this exact same set that I used in this review video on eBay.com. So the link will be in the description if you want to get it. I really like this set, but I have 2 of it. So you know what? I might as well just put it on eBay. I'm going to start the eBay auction at half price, just so you might be able to save a little bit money and get it for less than retail price when these actually come out in stores. So, of course, if you want to get this set, go and click that eBay link, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.